Alright folks, in this episode we're going to talk about a very important thing you need to bear in mind about your acoustic guitar, well, electric guitars too, and I'm going to tell you about it right now. Well, welcome back friends, thank you for keeping it here. I want to tell you a few things first, and then we'll get started on what this video is really about. First off, Dave, if you're watching this video, your guitar is on the bench again, and it's going to stay there until it gets done. I apologize to everyone that's got a guitar here for taking so long. I'll just tell you why I'm behind on everything. My daughter's car tore up, okay? Wife had to start running her everywhere. What happens? Wife's car tears up. Then what happens? I got to start running both of them everywhere. Doctor's appointments, groceries, all kind of appointments everywhere, man. And that's what I do. That's what I've been doing for the last week and a half or more. So David, your guitar is going to get done before it leaves here, right? This bench. It's up next. I promise you, it's going to stay there until it's finished. So, and everybody else that's got guitars here, I'm just saying, you know, I'm running a week or so behind again, a little more than a week actually. All right, let's get to the video and stop blowing so hard. I just use this guitar. The purpose of this video is to warn you. I've got a video on this I did a while back before, but got a ton of new subscribers since then. So it's an old video now. They probably didn't see it. And everyone needs to know this, especially right now with the summer months coming up. Well, they're already here, I guess. Yeah, it is summertime already, isn't it? Okay. Got a video, I talked about it before. Playing your guitar out on stage at live festivals. Hopefully this summer we'll be able to start doing live festivals and shows outside again. Hopefully. And talked about it before, man. If you're contracted to go up on that stage and do your music, and the sun just happens to be, say it's late in the evening, it's low in the sky, and the sun's coming in, and it's barreling on your instrument, you know, sunlight hitting the whole top. It can change the color for one thing, whether it's acoustic or electric. But the main thing to think about is all these glue joints in this area, right in here. You know, your neck block is just under the top right there. It's glued in to the sides. Okay, then you got your dovetail joint here. Usually it's a dovetail. It's glued in. You got your fretboard extension right here. That's glued down. Of course, you got braces in there. The top's glued on. The sides is glued on. The back is glued on. All those glue joints right there. And you got the glue joints back here too, that the sun also hitting the bridge. Plus, to make that even worse, depending on the string gauge you use, you've got what, 120, 40, 60, or 180 pounds in some cases of stress pulling on that guitar. Now, we all know that most guitars we build out or make and repair out of carpenter's wood glue. Well, it's not necessarily carpenter's, it's a wood glue. And hide glue. And either one of those, you know, we use heat to separate whatever parts we're trying to take off or separate. Like I say, you've got all these joints here. They got braces in there too. The entire guitar actually is, you know, filled with glue. It's got glue on everything, man. The binding here where the sun's hitting it. I've played at festivals before and under those circumstances, and I could touch my guitar. It was so hot, man. Extremely hot. And I knew, you know, that can do great damage to the guitar over time. Under stress, your neck's going to pull, you know, things. That hot glue is going to move. Basically, is what the point I'm making. There's really nothing you can do to avoid it, except if you know you're going to be playing in a condition like that, you know, maybe take one of your, if you have a guitar that's of lesser value to you, take that guitar to that show. Because, you know, man, you can get in some serious trouble, and it happens live right there while you're on stage. It's bad, man. I never had a guitar to fold up on me on stage before, but I did have something move so much the action came up. I mean, I couldn't see it coming up, but I knew it was higher than it came up than when we started. About the only thing you can do to prevent doing that, though, is, like I say, take a guitar that's of lesser value to you. You know, it's still good enough to get the show done. A lot of these places you have to contract as a band, and some of them, if you don't show up and play your show when you're supposed to, then you got to pay them whatever amount the agreement was on that they pay you after you fulfilled your contract. Never had that to happen either, but I'm just saying it happens. I know guys and bands that it's happened to. Not all of them contract that way, but you know, it's getting worse. A lot more of them are starting to do it now. So, you know, you better have a guitar that you know is going to hold together long enough under the sun, shining in on your guitar. Another bad thing people don't hardly ever think about at festivals and in summertime is leaving their instruments in a vehicle somewhere with the windows all up in the sun. That's the absolute worst thing you could do. I did that before, and I had an old banjo. It was a kind of a cheap banjo. It was the loudest banjo I ever heard to this day. It was a Conn, C-O-N-N. I think they make pianos and stuff. And I left it in the back of a guy's van one time in Ohio at a festival. And another guy was there wanted me to say, "Would you play my banjo on stage?" And I said, "Well, yeah, I guess." It sounded pretty good. It was a Gibson or a Stelling, I forget. It was a Stelling because I never really liked Stellings. You know, that's just me. There's nothing wrong with them. But he wanted me to play it, and I said, "Yeah, well," so I just left my banjo in the van. Went back out that night. He was gone. The guy with the banjo. We had to do another set that night. Got my banjo out, and it had a clear head on it. It was clear. You could see right through it. It was a beautiful banjo. And loud. Wow, it was loud. But that head had melted, man, and the strings were lying on the fretboard. Luckily for me, it didn't bust, and I was able, after it cooled off, to tighten it up, you know, and bring the tension back up enough to lift the bridge and the string action, enough to get by that night. And that was a contracted job. This was years ago. Good Lord, this was probably in the early 80s, I think. But the purpose of this video is just to say, be conscious of that, man. Keep it in mind this summer, every summer, when you are out playing live venues or festivals or whatever the case may be. If it's hot, think about your instrument and where it's at. You know, if it's in a place that's too hot for you, that's too uncomfortable for you, or too high humidity for you, any place like that that you don't like, your instrument's not going to like either. I promise you that. So think about that. If you leave one in the car, or if you're standing up on stage and you're doing your thing and the sun is barreling in on you. I played shows before where it was raining, and Wolf Creek played one just not long ago, and it came a storm like that. But we finished our set and got off there before it hit. Anyways, I played a show one time. It was raining, was blowing in, hitting the face of my guitar and dripping off the guitar. What are you going to do, man? You can either try to finish the set out, or you can pay, you know, whoever's promoting the show or having it, whatever the agreement was, that they pay you if you complete the show. You can get into some real messes, man, on the road like that. So I always took, when I played banjo, I took 2 banjos with me. When I played guitar, I took at least 2 guitars, sometimes 3. Just, you know, in case anything like that would happen to a contracted venue or a festival or whatever it was. So keep that in mind. When you leave your guitar in the van or in the trunk of your car, or you're playing up in the direct sunshine, you know, turn your back away from the sun if you can. Whatever you can do, anything you can think of that you can do, if it's shaded maybe in one little area, get in that place. Anything you can do to get that direct sunlight off of the top of your guitar. That's terrible, man. That's horrible. Like I say, it will change the color of that guitar. It don't matter if it's an electric guitar, if it's got a through neck or a set neck or a bolt-on neck even. It's still getting hot. It's not good, and your guitar is not going to like that, and it's not going to, you know, it's going to do damage. Believe me, it will. Hope this helps, guys. Summer's coming. I happened to think about that, and I thought, yeah, I need to do another video of that. I don't even remember how long it's been since I did the last one, but it's been a while. I do know we got a bunch of subscribers since then. Thank you all for that. And about that rant video. Wow, man, you guys knocked that out of the park. I mean, you took the ball and ran with it. Views shot up like coming out of a cannon. I don't know if they'll stay there or not. Probably not. Probably not. But at least it it didn't hurt anything. It'll help. Thank you for that too. Everyone that participated in that, commented, and thumbs that video up. Thank you. Thumbs up to you. And I love you. Thank you guys for that. And for your support here. Thank you, patrons, for your support on Patreon. I do a video a month over there. A very special video for a certain tier on my Patreon page. Takes you behind the scenes here at the house and fills you in on everything that's going on in detail. And a lot more things that have happened over my lifetime. A lot of y'all said you'd like to get me make a video. You know me better. Know me better. If you want that, say so in the comments. And I do that for the patrons all the time. But I maybe could make one and explain some of my music adventures over the many decades of years old I am. Wow. I'm feeling every age, every year of it too. I shouldn't complain. I don't feel that bad really. Just the normal aches and pains. Rheumatoid arthritis sets in. Occasionally it gets pretty bad, but thank God it don't last. It hasn't lasted very long. If I had a piece of wood, I would knock on it. This shit's not even wood. It's pressed crap. Anyways, thank you guys for your support here and on that rant video. Hopefully it'll help. A lot of the 85% that watch the videos that were not subscribed, well, I shouldn't say a lot, several, I was shocked to see that many of them subscribe. Thank you guys for that, and welcome aboard the hosts that never sleep, and I'll see you cats and doggies next time. Woo!